describe my work? You know, I get asked this quite a lot. It's quite hard to know what to do, but I'd probably say contemporary, landscape, abstract. I think it fits in quite a few genres, so it's quite hard to define, but yeah, contemporary, abstract, landscape, colourful, lively, textures. Yeah, there's quite a few adjectives. I think I've always wanted to be a painter in probably some respect. I did it at GCSE, did it at A-level, did it at university, and I always had a passion for it, but I don't think, even when I picked it at university, I didn't think I'm going to be a painter, but it has sort of led down that road, and now I couldn't imagine being anything else. Yeah, it's just sort of, that's what I do now, I suppose, and literally I don't know what else I'll do. I did want to be a footballer, but I think I peaked when I was 12, so yeah, it's all downhill from there. So inspirations come from all over really, generally sort of everyday life, posters, textiles, TV programs, car journeys, literally anywhere you can sort of think of. You sometimes just get like a glint of something or some colours together, and you think I can probably use that somehow, like a proper light bulb moment, I suppose. So when that happens, generally sort of you just want to get straight in the studio and you want to just get on with it, because the trouble is, if you overthink things, then things get harder to do. But if you just get on and do it with no idea of what you want to do, then you can't really do it wrong. So yeah, just keep an eye out for whatever around you and just try and absorb it, I suppose. University's probably where I first started being a painter, and it was very abstract. There was a lot of different painting techniques, and I was using different objects to paint with. And then after university, I sort of had a more conscious effort to paint something maybe more commercial, that would go in somebody's house, rather than at university doing something that was at a museum, or you might find it in the Tate if I was lucky enough. But now it's sort of slowly evolved from the commercial sort of, the flowers that I was doing and fields that were quite pretty, and it's sort of come and it's got a bit more of an edge. It's got sort of an urban graffiti scrolls, it's got, yeah, different textures, layers. It's just sort of, it's gradually changing. I probably couldn't tell you sort of how it's changed, but it's just changing all the time, sort of weekly, and I think that's a good thing, just because as soon as your work becomes stagnant, you get a bit bored, you don't want to do it, and nobody else wants to buy it because you're doing the same stuff that you were doing 3 years ago. But it's good just to keep things moving on and, yeah, doing something new and exploring new materials and techniques. So the materials I use, most people would probably say that I'm an oil painter because of the texture. Oils are known for the texture, but I've not really used oils in a few years now. I've tended to go for an acrylic paint just because it's so quick at drying. An oil paint can take months to dry. Acrylic, you're talking sort of a few days really. So for someone who's quite impatient and just wants to get on and do a layer and do another layer, it's perfect for me. What I do is I add in like a thickener into the acrylic, so it's a bit like I suppose like a polyfiller type material. You mix this in with the paint, and it just means that the acrylic just keeps its body. So rather than, generally when acrylic dries, it starts off quite textured, but then it sort of flattens back to the surface. But if you add this thickener in, it stays as you put it on, so you can put little scrolls in it, you can dab it on, you can blob it on, and it stays and dries like that. So it's perfect really for my textured work. I also, probably the last maybe 2 or 3 years, I've been using spray paints, and they've been creeping into work probably more and more. They're perfect for like gradients and sort of nice smooth skies and blending colours, but they're also great for just a little bit of sort of an urban edge and just sharp colours and contrast. So they're, yeah, the perfect sort of combination of the two. And the way I tend to work is in lots of layers, so it's sort of building up over time and put some reds on, put some blues on, put some yellows on. If it's not working, put another one on top. And then what you can do is you can sort of remove a layer, and sort of little chinks of colour can sort of come through and just create sort of a nice little explosion of colour that maybe you weren't expecting. And then recently I've been using little marker pens and stuff like that, and that's what I do, is tend to work back into the skies and just put in some extra details, and also some little doodles. If I fancy doing a doodle, I'll just put a doodle in. So some of my new paintings, they've got a duck in there with a crown on his head. Yeah, there's all sorts. There's hearts, there's stars. Yeah, just keep an eye out for them, I suppose. And then I've actually built a studio in the garden. So I haven't got much of a commute to work, which is quite handy. I've got about 10 yards to walk. And a bit of a labour of love, because me and my dad actually built it in a weekend. So he came down and it said it could take 7 days to build, and luckily we did it in 3 days. Me and my dad knocked it up. But what I did underestimate was the foundations. I dug them myself, and I thought it was going to take probably about 3 days. I thought there'd be 100 bags of soil, I'd be done, take it down the skip and sorted. I was digging for 3 weeks and I shifted 8 tons of soil. So yeah, a proper labour of love, but I'm in there now, and it's perfect. So I tend to paint lying down actually on the floor, quite relaxed. I've generally got some slippers on, I've got my trackies on, and I'm just chilling out really. I've got the radio on, I'm good to go. So I tend to paint on the floor, generally because it's just quite handy to sort of get over on top of it and get into it, I suppose. The only time I tend to sort of stand it up against the wall is for sort of drips and using the spray paint and letting it sort of drip down for the background. But then once the background's done and I'm moving to the foreground, because of all the texture, I do lie again flat on the floor, just because when it's so textured, if you had it up against upright, it tends to, because the paint's so heavy, it drips down and sort of not in a drip that I'd want. It's more, yeah, it looks a bit messy. So yeah, I work on it flat on the surface, let it dry, yeah, give it a few days, and then you can do another layer and work another layer. Then finally layer a varnish on top of that, and the varnish is perfect because it brings out all the colours, and it brings the colours together and sort of unites them all. And also because of the texture, it means that the varnish sort of catches the light, and it picks up all the shadows and all the little nooks and crannies in the paint. It just catches your eye, so it really works well. So looking forward to the future. Literally last week I just had a solo show confirmed in London. I'll not announce the venue just in case they backtrack, but I'm pretty sure it's going ahead. I've also just got a few new galleries this week, so I'll be popping down to see them. And I generally just want to sort of push my work forward, definitely work on a larger scale. I really enjoy the larger works and sort of be more physical, and just the sheer scale is really nice to work on. So it's not like a science. Art is it's anything you want it to be. So I feel like it's sometimes overthought, and people think it's just for sort of elite buyers and stuff like that. But it's literally for anybody. If you like the look of it, then get it. If you don't, then that's fine. It's personal opinion. So just enjoy what you enjoy, and if you like the look of it, get it.